What's up, y'all? Welcome back to ZayMoolah Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah. And y'all, on tonight, I'm here to react to the Tennessee Titans' two huge trades that they made on today. So without further ado, man, let's get straight into it. And y'all, the first trade that they made, I know it's going to hurt some Tennessee Titans fans, but the Titans traded DeAndre Hopkins to the Kansas City Chiefs for a 2025 fifth-round pick that could elevate to a fourth. Now, y'all, the way that pick elevates from a fifth to a fourth is if the Chiefs make the Super Bowl and DeAndre Hopkins plays 60% of the snaps. So there's a good chance that pick will turn into four, y'all, because we know the Kansas City Chiefs are one of the best teams in the league. And I do think DeAndre Hopkins is going to play a decent amount for them. Y'all, listen, DeAndre Hopkins, man, was one of the best wide receivers in Tennessee Titans history. I mean, he was very productive for us, man. But then, y'all, it's the things that he did off the field, man, in his community. You know, a couple of months ago, he hosted an event at Nissan Stadium for the kids. And so he really just embraced the city of Nashville. He really loved being here. Nashville is always going to be home for him. You know, Diop has stated on multiple occasions how when he retires, he would love to, host events, particularly, host like country music events in Nashville, Tennessee. So he's always going to have a home here in Tennessee. But y'all, this makes sense. The Tennessee Titans, we aren't going to be a good team this year. Obviously, we're 1-5, and our work is going to continue to get worse. It doesn't make sense to keep a 32-year-old, wide receiver, man, who's on the last year of his contract. It doesn't make sense to keep him around. And I love the fact that we traded him to the Kansas City Chiefs, man. I think this is the right move for us, y'all. Trade him to a team that has a legitimate shot of going to and winning the Super Bowl. I love that we did right by D-Hop because, again, he was a class act for us, man. He was a great person, great player for us. So I feel like, we needed to reward all the work that he put into this organization and send him to a team that has a legitimate shot of going to the Super Bowl. So I love this, man. This is a great trade by Rand. I love it for the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, gets Patrick Mahomes, a superstar wide receiver because Diop is still a great player in this league, y'all. And again, yeah, it's going to hurt the Tennessee Titans in the short term. Because now you look at our wide receiver room, and it's Calvin Ridley, Nick Westbrook-Ikine, Tyler Boyd, and we're going to talk about Tyler Boyd here in a few minutes, and Jaquan Jackson. But y'all, let's be honest, even with DeAndre Hopkins, we weren't winning any games because, again, we're 1-5. So this makes a lot of sense, man. Again, it is going to hurt losing Diop because he's a good player and he's a even better man. But this definitely makes sense. When you talk about the Tennessee Titans, we need to continue to acquire draft capital, y'all, because, I mean, we're in a rebuild. Let's be honest, we're in a rebuild. And it's even worse than a lot of us thought, I thought we were going to be, at least a pretty solid team this year. Come to find out, y'all, one of the worst teams in the NFL. So when you're in the position that we're in, you need to unload these veteran contracts that you have and get draft capital, so that way you can rebuild this team the right way. And hopefully, now us acquiring a future fourth-round pick, this should allow us to hopefully find a starter, y'all. Because here's the thing. Especially when you're a good GM, you have to be able to find talent outside of the first, second, and third round. A lot of people feel like you have to have a high draft pick to get a star player. Y'all know these late round picks actually show if you're a good GM or not, right? And Rand, so far with these late round picks, man, he's found us some really good players, right? Josh Wiley last year, and then this year it was Jaquan Jackson and Jarvis Brownlee Jr. So again, great by Rand Carthon, y'all, for doing this deal, getting us again should be a future fourth. And then the second and final trade, let me give y'all the grade for this trade. It's a B. Sorry, I forgot about that. And then, y'all, the second and final trade that the Tennessee Titans made out today, man, is that we traded inside linebacker Ernest Jones to the Seahawks for Jerome Baker and a 2025 fourth-round pick. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, y'all. This one confused me a little bit more because Ernest Jones is a guy that I thought we could build around. He's a guy that I thought could be our future middle linebacker one because he's only 24 years old. He had played very well for us, y'all. But I will say this. The fact that we were able to get Jerome Baker's a good linebacker, his own right. But, y'all, the fact that we were able to get a 2025 fourth-round pick, that's amazing. Again, I just said it, y'all. When you're in the position that we're in, we need to try to get as much draft capital as we possibly can. right? So now today we got one fourth round pick, excuse me, y'all. And again, with D Hop and the Chiefs trade, I expect us to get another fourth round pick. So today we acquired two 2025 fourth round picks. Yes, that's amazing, man. Let's give it up to Rand Carthon, man. Great. Again, I do hate that we traded Ernest Jones though, just because, man, he is such a good player. He's a great run stopper. I thought he brought like a physicality and a toughness to this team, to this defense. So it's definitely going to suck not having him around. But y'all will say this: Ernest Jones is literally going to be a free agent after the season. So maybe we re-sign him. Or maybe I should say we sign him in free agency. And now look, Rand Carthon would look like a big genius because he would have traded Ernest Jones away for a fourth round pick, but then the next offseason he would have been able to sign him back to our team. Yeah, so hopefully we're able to do that because again, I really like Ernest Jones as a player. Jerome Baker, I give you a little bit of details about him, man. So he's a 27-year-old middle linebacker. He spent a lot of time with the Miami Dolphins, man. He's a good player. He's not as good as Ernest Jones, especially not at this point in his career. I think Jerome Baker is kind of, I wouldn't say he's on the tail end of his career, but I definitely think he probably only has two to three more years of playing really high level football. Whereas I think Ernest Jones has another like 5 to 7 years of playing, high level football. But Jerome Baker, expect him to come in here and be, a pretty solid linebacker too for us next to Kenneth Murray Jr. So let's just hope, again, Jerome Baker, he's able to give us a little something. I'm not expecting too much from him, but just hopefully he's able to play well enough. Now, he is a free agent at the end of the season as well. So it would kind of be funny if Rand Carthon ends up flipping him for a draft pick, but I don't foresee that happening. I do think Jerome Baker is going to be on this team, y'all. So, I mean, yeah, again, it sucks losing Ernest Jones, man. I think he was a very underrated player for us. Now, there were some Titans fans that did appreciate what Ernest Jones meant to this team. But there's a lot of people I see, like I saw on social media, a lot of people didn't even know who the heck this guy was. I'm like, are y'all kidding me? I mean, Ernest Jones had been one of our best players, this season, which is saying a lot, y'all, because it's not like we, haven't had too many guys play that well for us. Again, that's why we're 1-5, right? When you're 1-5, pretty much no one's playing well. The coaches aren't doing their job, and the organization as a whole has not done their job. But Ernest Jones was one of the few guys that was actually doing this job, that was playing well, that was being productive for us. But again, I understand Rand Carthon doing this. Because again, we need all the draft capital we can get, y'all. My grade for this trade is a B+. I think it's a solid move. Is it a great move? No, because you're losing a 24-year-old linebacker for a 27-year-old linebacker, but you are gaining a 2025 fourth round pick. So because of that, I had to give it a grade of a B+. Excuse me. All right, y'all. So who's next? That's the question. Who else is Rand Carthon going to trade, y'all? And I think the two guys that really stuck out to me is wide receiver Tyler Boyd and safety Quandre Diggs. You look at both of these guys, man, we brought them in on 1-year deals, right? So they're going to be free agents at the end of the season. And I think they're both playing at a good enough level to where I think a team would give us maybe a 5th or 6th round pick for them, particularly Quandre Diggs. I think Quandre Diggs actually been playing pretty well for us. Tyler Boyd, he's been solid. Now, some of that is, is on, how bad our play calling has been. At other times, it's just been maybe him not getting open like he did when he was playing for the Cincinnati Bengals. But I still think he's a solid enough slot wide receiver that we could get a 5th or 6th round pick for him. Quandre Diggs, again, same thing. We might even be able to get a 4th round pick for Quandre Diggs. Now, he is 31, but again, y'all, Quandre Diggs has been playing some really, really good football for us, particularly a couple weeks ago when we played the Dolphins. He had a really great game, that game. So, yeah, look at these two guys to be a potential trade candidate, for us. I don't see us trading Harold Landry. I know there's been some people that's thinking we could potentially trade Harold Landry. I just don't see that happening, y'all, because look at us, man. Our edge rusher situation is really bad right now. That's with Harold Landry. If we trade Harold Landry, are we going to have the worst edge rusher situation in the NFL? We're not going to have a single guy that can get after the quarterback consistently. Okay, more Titans fans need to realize this. I think a lot of Titans fans, and I get it because, we place so much, kind of credence in terms of needing an elite quarterback in the NFL. Y'all, our edge rush position is horrible. I think that's the biggest need on this team, even bigger than quarterback, wide receiver, whatever. We really need a really great edge rusher on this team, man. It's hard to find a great edge rusher. That's why those guys get paid a lot of money. Okay, it's hard to find a TJ Watt. It's hard to find a Nick Bosa, a Myles Garrett, a Von Miller, a Matt Judon, right? Those guys don't come along around a lot. They just don't. We need that guy, right? So why would we trade off Harold Landry? And we don't even have any other guys on this team that can get after the quarterback consistently. He's the one guy on this team, y'all, that can get pressure, that can get after the quarterback. If we trade him, we won't even have one guy that can do that. So, no, we should not trade Harold Landry. We absolutely need to keep him. You know, you also hear those other people saying the Titans should trade Big Jeff. We're not going to do that. Does he need to play better? Yes, but we're not going to trade Big Jeff. It just wouldn't make a lot of sense, especially, y'all, we just gave this dude a $94 million contract last year, okay? We're not going to trade him a year later. It's just not going to happen again, y'all. I think these are only two guys that really make sense. I could maybe see Rand Carthon trading Amani Hooker, but Amani Hooker's been playing pretty well for us as well, and he's only 26 years old. So I think Amani Hooker is a guy we can build around. Would I be surprised if Rand traded him for like a third-round pick? No, because if we can get a third-round pick for Amani Hooker, oh, you would definitely have to do that. But I think if it's anything lower than the 3, I'm gonna keep Amani Hooker because again, he's only 26 years old. He can definitely be our, our strong safety of the future. So I would just keep him if it's anything lower than a 3, y'all. And now let's look at the Tennessee Titans updated 2025 draft picks, man. So now we have 8 picks, y'all. And we have a pick in round 1, a pick in round 2, 2 fourth-round picks. We have a 5th-round pick, via the Kansas City Chiefs that turns into a 4th, like I said earlier. If Chiefs make the Super Bowl and DeAndre Hopkins plays 60% of the snaps, we have another 5th-round pick. We have a 6th-round pick, and we have a 7th-round pick, y'all. And again, if we trade Tyler Boyd and Quandre Diggs, then we'll have 2 additional picks. So I really love what we are in terms of the pick department. We have a lot of ammunition to play with, to use, y'all, which is great. And now, y'all, listen, the tank is on, okay? For any Titans fans, there was still a sliver of hope for this season, y'all. It's over. As my man Kenny Smith would say, it's over, okay? It's done. It's finished. Finito. There's no way in the world this team is coming back from a 1-5 start. I know there's some Tennessee Titans fans out there that's probably still optimistic, y'all. Listen, you better lose that optimism because it's over, right? And today it signaled that, right? The organization showed you that they have basically waved the white flag on this 2024 Tennessee Titans season, okay? Because Rand Carthon would have not traded DeAndre Hopkins and Ernest Jones if he thought we still had a chance to compete this year. He saw the writing on the wall like, man, we're 1-5. We got to play the Lions on Sunday. We're going to be 1-6. We still got to play the Commanders. We still got to play the Bengals. We still got to play the Texans twice. He realized, man, we're probably going to be 2-15 and 3-14. So it doesn't make sense to keep these dudes on the team, y'all. That's probably not going to be part of our team long term when we can trade them right now and get much needed draft capital, y'all. And speaking of the draft, man, y'all, these are the guys that I'm looking at. So we have quarterback Shedeur Sanders out of Colorado, man. We have quarterback Cam Ward out of Miami, man. We have wide receiver Teteroa McMillan out of Arizona, man. We have wide receiver Luther Burden III out of Missouri, man. On defense, y'all, we have edge rusher Michael Williams out of Georgia. We also have edge rusher James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee. And last but finally not least, one of my favorite players in all of college football, man, we have Abdul Carter, edge rusher out of Penn State, y'all. So these are the guys that I'm looking at right now for the Tennessee Titans when it comes to who we could draft in the first round. Y'all, I'm not going to lie, man. I wish there was some way in the world we can acquire another first-round pick because I would really love to draft, Shedeur and Teteroa McMillan, or draft Cam Ward and Luther Burden, or, draft Luther Burden and Abdul Carter. Like, I really love to get 2 of these guys. But again, if you're a college football fan, man, these are some guys to look out for. The reason I didn't include Travis Hunter on this list, y'all, is because, let's be honest, I don't see us getting a number 1 overall pick because I think we're going to at least, win maybe 2 or 3 more games. I don't know if the Carolina Panthers or Cleveland Browns are going to win, any more games the rest of the season. So I think the Cleveland Browns, our Panthers, and the Patriots, too. I think one of those 3 teams are going to have number 1 overall pick. And I think Travis Hunter is going to be a number 1 overall pick. So that's why I didn't include him. Trust me, y'all, if there was any chance, we get the number 1 overall pick, My goodness, I would absolutely love him, man, because Travis Hunter is one of the best athletes I've ever seen, man. I think he's by far the best player in this upcoming year's draft, man. But again, y'all, I just really don't see us, acquiring that number 1 overall pick. And now, y'all, again, y'all see my thumbnail. The future is now, okay? It's now. Rand Carthon, Brian Callahan, the rest of the Tennessee Titans organization, they know that, man. This season is over with, y'all. Unfortunately, I don't think any of us thought that this season was going to be over with, by week 8. But y'all, here we are. The team hasn't played well. The coaches haven't coached well enough. The organization has failed us. That's what it is, y'all. It's a failure on all 3 levels. It's a failure by the players. It's a failure by the coaches. It's a failure by the organization. But now, Brand Carthon and company, they have a chance, y'all, to make this thing right again, to make it even better. And I think now that we have, the draft capital that we do, we can do that. Y'all, we still have some good players on this team, though, especially our young guys. I mean, look at the young guys we have on this team, man, moving forward. Tavondre Sweat, J.C. Latham, Tajay Spears, Peter Skoronski, Lloyd Cushenberry, because Lloyd Cushenberry is still young. He's only 26. Jarvis Brownlee Jr., Kenneth Murray Jr., let's see with Kenneth Murray if he's going to be on this team next year. But right now, he's on this team. So, I like the young guys that we have moving forward. Now, hopefully, we get some, great players in the draft next year. And also, y'all, hopefully, we're going to be better in free agency. Now, this year with our free agent signings, I should say, Calvin Ridley, he's been disappointed. Tony Pollard's been really, really good, great for us. Obviously, he's been really great for us. Lloyd Cushenberry, he's been playing pretty well. Quandre Diggs, he's been playing pretty well. Obviously, we know what happened with Jamal Adams. We cut him last week. So all in all, y'all, I think we did a pretty solid job with our free agent signings. Obviously, again, Calvin Ridley, I just don't know what's going on with him, and it just seems like we're not able to get him going at all. But other than that, our free agent signings have been playing pretty well for us. But we're worse than what we were last year, man. And Rand Carthon has admitted that, like, hey, this season that has just not gone to how any of us, thought it was going to go. It happens, y'all. But you know what? I'm happy that Rand Carthon, he admitted it, because sometimes, y'all, when something doesn't go your way, you're in denial about it. But Rand Carthon has admitted, hey, this season has been a failure. It's over with. Let's go ahead and wave the white flag, and let's get ready for the 2025 season, y'all, which I'm happy about, man. I cannot wait for the free agency next year and the draft. Y'all, I'm not going to be doing any mock drafts, probably for another, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 weeks. I just like it's too early to be doing mock drafts. Man, it's October 23rd. I think I said this maybe last week or a couple of weeks ago. I don't want to do mock drafts yet, right? It's so early to be doing it. But I will start probably doing some mock drafts around like week 12, week 13. Because by then we'll probably be, maybe 2-9, 2-10 or something. But right now, y'all, it's just still a little bit too early for me to do mock drafts, man. But again, y'all, the Tennessee Titans, man, we're looking ahead to the future, because the future for us, unfortunately, is right now. I wish the future wasn't out for us, y'all. I wish we could, kind of still live in the present. But we're not able to do that, man, because the present looks really bad for us, y'all. But we're hoping that our future looks really bright, man. So there y'all have it. That was me reacting to the Tennessee Titans. 2 huge trades they made today. The first trade, y'all, was trading wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins to the Kansas City Chiefs for a 2025 5th-round pick that can become a 4th. The second trade, y'all, was the Tennessee Titans trading Ernest Jones, linebacker, to the Seattle Seahawks, man, for Jerome Baker and a 2025 4th-round pick. So I hope y'all enjoyed this, man. Remember, laughter is good medicine. So what? Make sure you get your daily dose. Y'all know I'm going to end it, man. I love y'all. God bless. Peace.